Hello people, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. This is Sorin and we reached the end of 2023 and it's the best time of the year to review how many tanks have been added this year into our lovely game World of Tanks. So let's begin. Thank you very much Armor Patrol for publishing this. I'm actually keeping track of the all new vehicles, and by the looks 50 tanks were released. And by the looks of it, there are 3 more than in 2019, so pretty much we're keeping up with adding around 50 tanks per year in World of Tanks. So which means probably in 5 years we're gonna reach the tally of having 1,000 vehicles inside the game. But starting off with, by the looks of it, the first of actually the 12th of January, it was the T832, which was a tier 8 tank. Actually, it's a heavy tank, a premium heavy tank from USA. It was added for, I think it was what was it? A chapter special from the Battle Pass. I think it was Jetsman's days, but yeah. Next, it was the Lion. It was assembly shop, very expensive vehicle. Obviously, had to spend either gold, bonds, credits, free experience. What else was there? You could spend your fragments, your blueprint fragments, your universal fragments, and for that, the Lion had a very interesting mechanic just because it had that amazing auto reloader where the shells were not loaded by time significantly. Like they didn't have a sequence. It was like the second to last shell. It was loading the fastest. So it was kind of an interesting mechanic that revolutionized auto reloader mechanic, and people just had to relearn to play the game pretty much. Next, it was the man kicking on the 16th of February. It was a reskin version of the 121B Chinese medium tank. It was, oh yeah, it was an auction. So guys, get ready for auction as well, because looks like in February it is the month of the auctions. So yeah, first tank that I got last year, it was the K2, which was a heavy tank from Russia, and I still feel like it's among the best heavy tanks at armor by armor. Because yeah, this vehicle, once you get it to over angle, you are gonna bounce anything that you meet. I mean, the turret is very weak, but other than that, everyone is gonna aim for the hull. It is not gonna go through, but it's still, as a damaging perspective, it's very weak. The gun is really underperforming, but it's a fairly balanced way to, because people cannot penetrate you, cannot penetrate them back. That is pretty much all this tank is all about. Next, a reskin version of the Progetto 46. It was the Mars. Everyone knows what the Progetto is. It is pretty competitive tier 8 medium tank just because it has an auto reloader with 240 alpha damage, 3 shells, reloading quite quick. You can either have the really good DPM of I think 2000 base, or you can just shoot all 3 shells and have a weaker DPM but you still do 720 alpha damage. Reliable because the gun is really accurate, it's mobile, you have view range, you have camo, all of that. It was a winter auction. I think it was the most expensive vehicle out here. I mean, obviously after the tier 10s, but other than that, there was a T54 as well, a tier 9 heavy tank, a premium from USA, which sold for pretty much 13,000 gold at least. The vehicle, it's a worse Renegade in my opinion, and just I think it was the first tier 9 in 2023. Next, the 116 F3 rewards for what is it? It was Clan Wars, yeah, an auto loader with 3 shells. Is it an auto loader? I don't remember being an auto loader. I remember it being a sniper, but I might be wrong. Other than that, the vehicle, it just has its own unique style. It's a reward. Not many people got it, just people that participated, and I think they went top 10% got it. I might be mistaken, but it is what it is. I haven't played Clan Wars for ages. Next, the Forest Spirit, a lot of reskin version of the tanks. The SU-130 PM with an interesting skin. It was for St. Patrick's loot boxes. It was a new tank. You had to gamble through 11 other vehicles to get it. If you didn't have it, there was like 1 in 11 chance of getting it. There were some interesting tanks that got brought back, like the Emil 1951 and stuff like that. But it was just a plain 130 PM with just a skin and a different name. I mean, like, if you have the 130 PM and the Force Spirit and you love their gameplay, you just, go in a battle, get destroyed, jump into the next one, and so on and so forth. But next, the first Japanese tank destroyer, it was the Type 5 Kari, which is, in my opinion, a very decent choice. It has really high penetration AP rounds. The same goes to AP, standard AP and premium rounds. And obviously you had to get the emerald boxes, which are way weaker than the Christmas boxes, because with the Christmas boxes you get 250 guaranteed gold, whereas with this ones you pretty much got nothing. I remember you could get like pretty much like a training booklet or anything like that, but yeah, the emerald boxes were not really good. Next, there was added the Watt Plus with a rental of the TS54. If you have Watt Plus, you get a TS54, which is a tier 8 tank destroyer with actually not a tank destroyer, it's a heavy tank. I keep calling them tank destroyers, with a double barrel, which it was interesting at first. Everyone said that, oh my god, it's so OP, but nowadays no one talks about it. Next, the TL7, United States tier 9 tank destroyer with what was it, autoloader, a very sneaky tank, very small, with interesting playstyle, just really good in hands of good players, but once again not popular anymore. It was Call to Mars event boxes. That was in May. There were so many new crates or whatever those were. I mean, like, we had winter crates, St. Patrick crates, and was the Call of Mars crates as well. I don't really remember, but I might be mistaken. Just so much things to remember. It's way too much for me. Sorry for that. Next, a new battle pass came in with two brand new vehicles. It was the BZ58-2, tier 9 promotional tanks, heavy tank. Battle pass exclusive for 27 tokens. There was the KPZ 3 Project 07 with a brand new siege mode and hydropneumatic suspension. Once again, either 24 27 tokens. Another chapter from the battle pass, the 5060p. Pretty decent choice compared to if you don't like to play the 50TP, which is still a solid choice even though it's dating a long time. I mean, even today's day, the 50TP can still be a decent vehicle. The 60TP just has worst damage per shot, higher mobility, and probably higher skill to play to master it. But yeah, still a very solid heavy tank in my opinion from Poland. Next, an assembly shop. Once again, so many assembly shops. It was the German heavy tank from. Once again, you had to spend 200 million credits or whatever it was, 2 million credits, 120k gold, bonds, free experience, blueprints, anything like that. Spend all your garage for a tank that was pretty much similar to a Chieftain. That sometime after the Chieftain got nerfed, and probably this vehicle is still competing with Chieftain in terms of the gun performance. This thing has a way more DPM and has worst armor, but once again the DPM really cuts off for it. Still sees a lot of them on the battlefield, but I don't manage to put my hands on them, even though I wish I had the currencies. And what was this? The Gisor 1010 FP. This was when the tech tree for British came in, the wheeled medium tanks came in, and it was open for sale. It was like a new tech tree with a new vehicle, which was just sold for good money. I really love that. You don't need to gamble anything. You don't need to like spend any crazy amount of gold or whatever it was on this vehicle, and you could just get it. And is it decent? Yeah, probably. Some people might say decent. I got it from the loot boxes and I played with it, and I can say that it's not my playstyle. Next, it was the AMX 13 FL 11. This is a tier 5. It was a gift for Wargaming's 13th anniversary, And it is the first tank over here, which is a low tier, which is like we're already half through the list pretty much, and we reach our first low tier. I mean, we can literally say that the monies are not spinning around the tier 5. There are more of tier 8, tier 9, tier 10. So this is where the really money are coming in. But yeah, it was all about this. It was like MX-13 hull with just, just a light tank, like tier 5 light tank. Typical shitter for mostly of you. Next, the Jack Tiger prototype. I was just a pure Jack Tiger 8.8, just having a 128 millimeter, and for many of you, you guys loved it. The tank doesn't have preferential matchmaking, but you have a cannon that you can defend yourself. You just traded all of your DPM for having 490 alpha damage and having 300 meters of APCR pen on your gold rounds, whereas the 8.8 just has 242-ish, which means you cannot really penetrate your enemies reliable. This is why it's a preferential matchmaking and it's forgotten by the world. Once again, boxes in the Waffentrager event, you had to gamble for it, and probably he's not gonna come back. Actually, probably he's coming back earlier or later. And the first this thing, the Kapazander, actually this was a Kramp Panzer D3 Jäger, tier 9 German tank destroyer. Everyone was thinking there's gonna be a grill, but in reality it's a worst Waffle 4. But yeah, once again you had to gamble for it, and I don't remember being sold earlier or later, which might be coming in next year in 2024, sold for gold or whatever sold for. Next, the Obsidian, which was a really easy tank to get in the Mini 13 event. For me, it took only like maybe an hour and a half to play daily, and I managed to complete this event in like 9 days. So pretty much in 9 to 13 hours. For some of you, let's say 20-hour maximum, you could get yourself a decent, even though slow, tier 8 medium tank, which it was for free. You didn't have to complete any fancy battle pass, you didn't have to do anything like out of the world. You just had to do some missions that were pretty difficult, like defeating the nightmare boss with the 4 stages. I mean, if you had a really good team, if you had your friends on Discord, it was just pure pleasure to play this game mode, and I managed to complete all my missions inside the random queue, so it was accessible for everyone. So the Obsidian event was a really thumbs up from me. It was a really nice addition for all free-to-play players. Next, the Kapazander Project 68P, which is a medium tier 8 premium, which has like so many tier 8 German medium tanks in the game. I mean, it was another battle pass exclusive. I think this one was not able to get it for free. You had to spend 3000 gold for it or something like that. But I don't think everyone is gonna play it, because there is the Kapazander 07, the one with the really good rate of fire with a 200 alpha damage, and that is the most popular German tier 8 medium. This one is just, just another more, because it is not like we have so many tier 8 premiums in the game, but it is what it is. Next, coming in with a tier 5 for the well-reserved reward for the board game is saying thank you for playing our game for X amount of years. This is a pile of, it's just a garage slot for mostly of you. I mean, the Super Hellcat is better, the VK 105 is better. I mean, that one thing is actually pure memes and I love it, but other than that, this vehicle is just a tier 5 that obviously doesn't do much. Next, the Panzer Wagen 39. This is a Czechoslovakia tier 3 for completing something, or actually logging into the New Year's gift 2024. The Vickers 6 ton, it was a loot box exclusive vehicle, tier 2. I mean, come on, tier 2s. Who would I mean, actually I got so many tier 2s on my loot box opening that I managed to get like only 500 goals each, but it is a pain. It is a pain. I mean, like, I haven't played it, I haven't touched it. Maybe I will do a battle in just to see what is the Vickers all about, but other than that, it's a tier 2, so not uh, too much attention to spend. Next, a tier 3. um, for some reason, the Vickers 6 ton is China. I was thinking it's British, but by the looks of it, no. The A7E3 instead is British. Once again, just to complete the loot boxes, there is gonna be like some random 500, 750 gold in the case opening. The IT3 from USSR, tier 4. RMMT, which has an autoloader with 3 shells, which has a really bad DPM of 800 or something like that, tier 5, but 15 degrees of gun depression. I think it was among the more interesting tank that you can get in the loot boxes. I mean, in the large crates. But once again, the tier 5, it is a tier 5. No one plays it. Next, it was the Chaffee M24, which once again tier 5 premium. I mean, for the 1,400 gold or 1,200, how much you get for it, it is decent to get it. But other than that, it's just a worse Chaffee. And almost last, all the new vehicles added in the loot boxes, the tier 8, tier 9, which are the XM66F, which is quite decent. I mean, if you know how to play it, it's gonna do really nice because of that DPM and slight better mobility than the TS5. The Size 63, which shows which is the new tank for the new Tech 3 that is coming in January, with hydropneumatic suspension. I don't remember having it, and the gun cooling, so something new from Wargaming. The Object 752, which is a tier 9, and I feel like it's the best tier 9 premium in all of tanks, and comparably the Tiger Mouse has the best armor on the tier 9 as well, because it's the mouse turret on E100 hull pretty much. And last but not least, a free promotional tank from Arnie. It was Patton, the tank, which is just a worst Patton in my opinion. On top of that, there are 34, I think 34 pieces of premium tanks and 16 pieces of Tech 3, which are the BZ, the heavy tanks from China with the rocket boosters, the tank destroyers from Japan, and the wheel mediums from Great Britain. So 3 Tech 3s and 34 premiums inside that 1 year, which roughly translate, if you don't count the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, where is it? 8? Is it 8? Yeah. So if you translate pretty much to 26 pieces of brand new content, roughly 40, let's say 35 euros each, around 1,000, at least 1,000 gold, actually 1,000 euro worth of interesting content of new special tanks, premium tanks. I mean, 1,000 euros if you count as the Lion and the Panzer, the Project 07 HK. Actually, no, not the HK. Sorry, where's the other one? The heavy tank, yeah, the 07 PE. If you do count them as only 40 euros each. But other than that, at least 1,200 euros for collectors. So yeah, that's a lot of talking. We pretty much reached the end of the video. And if you've been all the way to here, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you legends around.